Morning everyone, welcome. If you're with me at this very moment, if you're joining me live, thank you for tuning in with me at this present moment. If you're looking or tuning in at a later date, I hope you have a good practice. This morning's practice is going to be a foundation Hatha class. The last few Mondays we've been doing 30-minute practices, but this will be a full practice this morning. Later in the week or the start of next week, I'll do another few of the 30-minute classes. But for today, this will be a full regular class, so towards an hour, hour and 10. You can be in whichever way is best for you as we get started in this practice. You can be in a lying down position if you find that maintaining the seated position is challenging or uncomfortable. But if a seated position feels good for you, coming to any variation that's comfortable, sitting as tall as you can, adopting your hand gesture, your mudra if you find that that's helpful, thumb and index finger together, one palm resting on top of the other, or on any other variation you're familiar with. Sit as tall as you can if you're choosing to be in a seated position. If you're lying down, adjust the body to a point that you can really feel that it's held and it's comfortable. But no matter where you are even, eyes closed, mouth closed. Take a moment to arrive. As you work towards creating a little space for yourself and space for your practice. Be aware this space is not a place of resistance. You're not trying to push away or suppress any thoughts. Instead, we'll just encourage a shift of the awareness. As you bring your awareness to the physical body, and note how the physical body feels this morning. Begin at the toes, and move up through the body. Notice along the way. Any areas of particular tension or holding, be there for a moment longer. When you arrive at the crown of the head, knowing that there's no rush in doing so, move into the headspace with a mental inquiry of how am I feeling? What are the energy levels like at this present moment? What's the condition of the mind? And with this attuned awareness of both the physical body and the mind, and softly bring our attention, bring our focus upon the breath, with the intention of just simply witnessing and experiencing the breath. At the very center of the belly, just notice body's response to breath at the belly. How the belly rises with the incoming breath, and how the belly falls with the outgoing breath. When you experience your next inhale, mentally repeat, breathing in. And on the turn of the breath, breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. If the mind begins to wander, gets distracted or pulled away by any thoughts, any sensations, sounds, each time bring it back. Belly rises, breathing in. Belly falls, breathing out. Mind wanders, bring it back. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you're in a seated position, please do remain as you are. If you've chosen a lying down position, taking care rolling to your side. When there's no trace of dizziness, explore pushing up to any seated variation. Namaskaram Mudra. If comfortable, palms are lightly pressed in front of the chest. Taking a moment to set an intention, a sankalpa, or dedication for your practice. Releasing of your hands. Dropping chin towards the chest. A few gentle blinks, opening of the eyes. Namaste. We'll softly raise the knees up. Adopting a cross-legged position and perhaps raising the knees up. Thighs come a little closer to the chest. Please be aware that you can have your hands behind you if you find this challenging. As it feels a little steadier, you can grab behind the thighs, then the shins, or go for a wrist or a forearm. No matter where you are, sit as tall as you can. Create length in the spine. Chin sets a little back. And if you haven't already done so, begin to put a little conscious effort into our breathing, in through the nose and out through the nose as best you can. But no pressure on the breath. Maintaining this length in your spine. Your next inhale, turn your gaze to your right. Softly gazing right, but no pressure on the neck. Your next exhale through the center. Inhale to your left. Maintain the chin drawn a slight bit back. And turn gaze to the left. Allow the breath to flow. Next exhale, back to center. Releasing the clasp of the hands if you're here, or the thighs, or the shins. I'm going to release the knees down, coming into a cross-legged position for the first time, or readopting if you're already here. Any variation is welcome. You can have the legs out front as you need to. If you need a little prop underneath above you to elevate the hips, you're welcome to do so for a little extra support. We'll endeavour to keep the spine central as we intend to get a little twisted. Take your right hand to your right side and behind. Remember, not too far away as we'll lean away from the centre, so a little closer if you can. Hook the left hand over the right thigh. As you inhale, sit tall. As you exhale, twist through the torso, very comfortably, gaze follows. Your next inhale, back through the centre. Exhale to your left. Inhale, centre. Exhale, right. Inhale, centre. Exhale, left. Inhale, center, exhale, right, and maintain it there for a moment if you can. Feel a length in the spine each inhale, and on the exhale you explore just a little further depth. Breathe. In the next inhale we're going to come halfway back. So we're going to turn the gaze to look at the right knee. The breastbone, the centre of the chest, is facing the direction of the knee. If it's comfortable for you and accessible, maintain the hands in the position they're in. As you exhale, fold in the direction of the right knee. Keep the gaze beyond the knee. Recognize that the outer edge of the left buttock muscle is still grounding, you're not rolling up into it, only coming to the point that you can maintain the grounding. Next inhale, raising tall. Through the center. Exhale to your left. Left hand left side and behind. Hook the right hand over. Little twist to your left. The gaze follows if it feels good for the neck. Then maintain it there for a moment. Next inhale, coming halfway back. Breastbone is looking at the left knee now. Next exhale, you're folding the direction of the left knee. We're only to the point that outer edge of the right buttock muscle remains grounded. No force for depth. Just note the difference between both sides. Inhale, re-raising back up. And softly through the center. We'll come front. Anyways, welcome. You can sweep the legs around. If it's accessible, raise the knees. Heels closer to the bum. Take the hands front and raise tall on the knees and unravel the legs. But don't fight. Whichever way is best for you. Once you've arrived, take a moment to set up. You're thinking shoulder over wrist, fingers are well spread. Your knees are underneath your hips initially, so you know that your thighs are vertical, then they go wider from that point. So you're thinking wrist, knee and toes in a straight line. Tops of the feet remain grounded. Once you've got your good alignment, we'll imagine there's a point in between the hands, there's a point in between the knees. We're going to move around these points in small circles, coming together in figures of 8. Before you go through the movement, please note if there's any challenge present on the wrists, you can take the hands further front or play around making fists. Beginning with the lower limbs, the lower body even. Make a half a circle around the point in between the knees, then follow with a full circle around the point in between the hands, and completing a bottom circle, bringing together the figure of 8. Start with smaller rotations initially. If it feels good, you can begin to extend the diameter of the circles to be a little greater. The breath flows. Good. After completing your current figure of 8, then change direction, starting with the hips, opposite direction, half a circle, full rotation with the upper body, then completing the bottom circle, bringing together a figure of 8, starting with the smaller circles. As you change direction, change the line of inquiry, graduating to bigger circles. Beautiful. Completing your current rotation. Back to center. Shoulder working towards over wrist. All is well here. Keep the knees where they are, but allow the toes to draw towards each other. Keeping the tops of the feet grounded. Hands maintain where they are. As you exhale, bend at the knee. Sitting all the way back. If you can, sitting on the heel, but don't fight for depth. Just work in this direction. Your next inhale, elevating back up, shoulder over wrist. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, raising up. You can maintain this alignment of the feet, but if all is well, take the feet a little distance apart. So not feet in line with the knees, just a little bit before that. As you exhale, same movement. Gently push back. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, raising up. Feels good now. Take the toes in line with the knees. Exhale, pushing back. Recommence the response. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, raising up. Feels good. Tuck the toes. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale. Exhale. Smoothly back. Be there. Very comfortable. Maintain the toe stretch. If it's very challenging, please do untuck the toes. Don't fight for depth. Feels good if your toes tucked or untucked. You can rock side to side. If the toes are tucked, you're developing a little toe stretch. Loading the toes a little differently as you change or shift rather from side to side. Beautiful. Come to rest with your little toe rock. Then re-raising back up and untucking the toes. Shoulder over the wrist as best you can. A few gentle rounds of our tiger breathing. As we move, we endeavour to maintain this shoulder alignment. So you're trying to avoid this swaying back motion. So there's maximum movement through the spine. Moving with the breath. Head is the last thing to move. As you inhale, arch through the lower back. So you feel that the belly will work a little towards the mat. Experience the middle back, the upper back, and slightly lifting the head if comfortable for the neck. As you exhale, head is last thing to release around your lower back, your middle back, upper back, then releasing your head around in the spine, belly lightly drawn. Inhale, lower, middle, upper, lightly lifting head. Exhale, lower, middle, upper, then releasing head. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. No fight. Breathe as much as you need to. Exhale, round. And be there for a moment if you can. Really push away the mat. Belly lightly. Middle back, working towards the ceiling. Next, inhale back to an easy spine. Belly drops lightly. Take your knees to be wider now, as wide as your mat if you can. Big toes return together and sitting back to the degree that's achievable and comfortable for you. First variation is extending the arms as far front as you can, the hands even, then grounding your forehead. If this is a challenge or uncomfortable, stack your palms or stack your fists to support the forehead. Your hips can be elevated up if necessary. If your arms are extended fully out in front, push away the mat lightly. A few steady breaths in your resting warrior. Softly lifting the head. The gaze is front. Extend your arms front if you have stacked them on top of each other or any other variation. With the arms fully extended out in front, we'll endeavour to make our way to a mild downward facing dog. Recognize the steps. The distance between hands and feet is correct for downward facing dog, so we'll endeavour to maintain this if you are choosing to come up. We'll raise the hip. Then take your feet to be shoulder distance apart and take the toes under. This feels good. Raise your knees a small distance up off the mat. All is well, keep the bend in the knees, work the hip up and back, torso back towards the thighs. Being a mild downward facing dog, we'll maintain quite a good bend in the knee. Focus more on spreading your fingers, grounding your palms, then creating length from your wrist all the way to the hip. If this becomes too demanding at any moment, ground the knees. Feels good, you're mindfully applying your arm. You're breathing. Now the intention from here is an effortless forward fold. If you find that challenging from a downward dog, please ground your knees, come to standing whichever way is necessary for you and approach it from a top down. If all is well, bend your knees even further. Keep the feet in the position they're in. As you will inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Try not to disturb the feet as best you can. Take all of the weight back into the feet. Feet are shoulder distance apart. A good bend in the knee, arms are heavy and the head is heavy. If your hands come at ease on that, you can be here bearing no weight. Up off the mat is beautiful work too. Any challenge in the back of the body this morning, any dizziness, have the torso parallel or higher. Don't release the head, you can have hand support on the thighs. Feels good, full beat. Checking in with your knees. Are your knees leaning more towards your toes, or can you lean back to where your knees are located more over your ankle? Maintaining the arms heavy, maintaining the head heavy. Next inhale, make sure there's a bend in the knee. Roll up just through your lower back, take the time. Still a bend in the knee as you go explore your middle back. Arms and head still heavy. The upper back. Thinking the head is going to be the very last thing to lift. There's no rush as you come all the way up. Take the time. Once you're up and you feel steady on your feet, bring the feet in a little closer. So you're thinking hip distance apart. Recognize where the center of the thigh is. Line straight down. There's the center of your ankles and toes point straight ahead. Hands on the hips. Your awareness and your gaze, if you feel steady, is into your toes, your beloved toe movements. All is well here. Elevate all of your toes. And grounding of your toes. Raising of your toes. We'll keep all of our toes up, except our big toes. On your next exhale, bring your big toes to ground. Inhale, raise. Exhale, big toes to ground. Inhale, raise. Keep the big toes up. Next exhale, second to little toe to ground. Inhale, raise. Exhale. Inhale, feels good. Exhale, the big toes return to ground and the little toes return to ground, and your three lads in between remain lifting, but don't fight. Working on one foot at a time if it's particularly challenging. Exhale, ground all of your toes. Knees soft. Take your feet to be wider now. So as wide as your shoulders, if not a little wider. Hands on the hips. We'll just allow the breath to flow as is necessary, and just softly begin to push your hips side to side. Smoothly push. Pushing into the outer edge of the hip. Can you keep your feet firmly grounded? Can you prevent any twisting of the pelvis, particularly as you come to the very outer edge of the push? Next time you push your hips to the right, be there for a moment. Recognize the reaction to the right outer hip. Note, are you bending the knees? Particularly if you're bending the right knee, can you work with a straighter leg? Back to the center as you push your hips to your left. Maintain it there. Notice the response. Beautiful. Back to center. Releasing the hands. The first variation and option is that you can have the hands in the thighs. And you can work from this point. But if all is well through the shoulder, you're mindfully challenging in your practice, extending your arms straight out ahead. The challenge here as we work is trying to prevent the hands coming away from each other or prevent bending at the elbow. The chin, maintain slightly drawn back. On your next inhale, retract your shoulders back, elevate your shoulders up. As you exhale, bring your shoulders front and down. Inhale, shoulders back and up. Exhale, front and down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, front and down. This is good. Pause for a moment. Inhale, elevate up from that point. Exhale, retract back and down. Inhale, front and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, front and up. Exhale, back and down. This is good. All is it. Open up your arms from this point. Flip the palms to face down, then back. Then bend at the elbow. Hands to hip or clasp opposite wrist, form or elbow. Choosing which is appropriate for you. With the gaze front initially and the chin in a very mild double chin. Turn your gaze to your right. But keep the shoulders steady. Left. Breath flows. Back to center. Actively lift your chin towards the ceiling. Chin to chest. Back to center. A mild double chin. Then your right ear, your right shoulder. To your left. Back to center. Mild double chin maintained. Be in the clasp you're in, or if it feels good, releasing out to the side. Flip the palms to face front. A medium bend in the elbows. Grab that magic glass or bottle of something and never to pour out behind. All is well here. We'll exaggerate a double chin. Draw chin back towards the neck, not chin to chest. Glide your face into your phone or your tablet. Double chin it. Glide it front. Double chin. And back to an easy, steady neck. Coming a little bit front. Extending your arms straight from this point. Bringing your hands straight out in front. We're going to get a little twisted. Maintain a good distance between the feet. Take the time. Take an inhale. On your exhale, bring your left hand to your right shoulder. Your right hand's going to swing behind, searching for the left hip. Spine is lifted, sternum back. As you exhale, get a little twisted to your right. Inhale, center, extend the arms out in front. Exhale, right hand, left shoulder, left hand behind, get a little twisted to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Back to center. Keep the arms up as best you can. Flip the palms to face down. The feet are at least shoulder distance apart, not a little wider. Back bending forward, folding. If you have any trouble in the back of the body, please be mindful of the depth. Likewise, if you experience any dizziness, please take care of the depth you come in. We'll bend the knees generously. And we'll maintain a bend in the knees as you work. As you inhale, elevate your arms. Raise your arms. Align with your ears if you can, but you can do before that. This still feels good, top the pelvis under, and a gentle back bend. Your next exhale, push the bum a little back, work front from the front of the hip. Note that there's still a bend in the knee. Choose an appropriate depth for you. Swing the arms back and release the head. Very comfortable, but no dizziness. On the inhale, a good bend in the knee, arm in line with the ear. Feel them work all the way up, tuck the pelvic at the top, gentle back bend. Exhale, working front. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Note your body's reaction, not fighting for depth. Dictated depth is best for you. Inhale, smoothly up one last gentle back bend. On the exhale, stand nice and tall and simultaneously begin to release the hands. Shoulder height if you can with the arms. Then flip the palms to face each other. Your next inhale, open up your arms, expand the chest. You're welcome to bring the hands behind the shoulder line, but mindful you're not thrusting at the ribs to achieve this. Sternum back. Your next exhale back to the center. Inhale, open up the arms, expand the chest. Exhale, center. Inhale, smoothly open. Exhale, center. Inhale, opening up to the point where the fingers are just in line with your shoulders, so not behind the shoulder line. Then all is well here. Think moving from the biceps, so through moving from the shoulder. Allow the breath to flow as you turn the arms in opposite direction. Think moving from the bicep. Remembering if this is challenging, lower degree angle at the arms. Still challenging, lower and front. Very steady. Never moving into pain, there's no pinching. Beautiful. Both palms to face front. Exhale through the center. Then release your hands. Shoulders free. Turn to the long edge of your mat. Once you've come to the long edge of your mat, step the feet to be 3.5 to 4 foot apart. Quite a generous distance. Remembering you're welcome to be at a shorter distance, little practice going wider. Heels are in line initially, so note the alignment of the heels. Hands are on the hips. Turn your left toes in a little. Left toes come in a little. Keep the right heel where it is. Raise the front of the foot however as best you can. Pivot on the heel and turn your right toes to point towards the front edging of your mat, or whichever direction you're after turning to. Then turning the left hip around as best you can. Square the hip and square the shoulder towards the right foot. If this is comfortable for you, you can maintain the right foot where it is, but if you feel a little unsteady or it's challenging to square that left hip around, heel toe the right foot a little wider towards the right edging of your mat. A wider base, and see if you can square the hip a little further. Hands can be on the hips. If it feels good, however, you can take the hands behind, opposite wrist, forearm or elbow. Being here is beautiful work. Little practice, however. Next exhale, begin to fold front. You're folding in the direction of the right leg. The intention of the right leg is working a little straighter, but mindful you're never fully locking out the knee. Keep the hips squaring and the shoulders square. Gaze beyond the right foot. Breathe. Beautiful. Next inhale without the starting march, coming all the way back up. Keep facing in direction towards the right leg. Releasing the hands come to the hips. Putting a mild bend in the right knee. You can be here. A little practice, however. You bend the knee to where it comes over the ankle. If you note that you bend the knee and it goes beyond the ankle with ease, perhaps you consider increasing the distance between the feet or reduce the bend in the knee. Choose a depth that's appropriate for you. Hips squaring and shoulders squaring. If it feels good for your shoulders, extend the arms. Palms to press. If it's part of your practice, you can even gaze to the thumb. But please be mindful if you have any challenge in the neck or if there's any dizziness present this morning. Don't fight. Breathe. Virabhadrasana A, Warrior A, Warrior 1. Exhale, release the hands. If you have the space, you can release them out from the sides. Hands to the hips. Straighten the right leg with care. Turning the feet back in. If you heel toe the right foot towards the right side, bring the feet back to parallel, heels in line before you change. The right toes in a little now. Pivot on the left heel as best you can. Left toes out. Wrap the right hip around. Squaring hip and shoulder towards the back now. Heel toe the left foot a little wider if necessary to maintain a little further stability. Hands remaining as they are, or clasped to opposite wrist or forearm or even elbow. Take an inhale. Exhale, working front. Only working front to the point that you can maintain the hip and shoulder squaring as if you were upright and have almost even weight between the feet. Beautiful. Inhale, keep the alignment as you raise back up. Hands to the hip. Feels good. Exhale, mild bend in the left knee. Feels good. Good down knee over the ankle. As you inhale, extend the arms. In line with the ear is the intention. Palms to press. If it's part of your practice, slightly gaze to the thumb. Remembering if there's a challenge for your shoulders, hands front as you need to. You can have them apart if required. Little by little you build. Breathe. Exhale, release out to the side if you have the space. Hands to the hip. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Feet parallel. And then walk or step your feet back together. Whichever variation is best for you. Coming towards the front edge of your mat. So the short edge of your mat. We come about a foot's distance from the front edging of the mat. Feet shoulder distance apart or wider. A straight-legged forward fold. If you have any challenge in the back of the body, please be mindful of the depth you come in. You can have a bend in the knees if necessary. If there's any acute discomfort, please bend the knees. If you feel steady this morning, work with straighter legs. Hands around the thighs. Push the bum back a little so you notice that your hip is a little bit behind your heel. Your spine is lengthening, particularly the lumbar spine, and you'll notice that you're going to fold from the front edge of the hip. So you can be here. This is beautiful work. A little practice, however, with the hands bracing on the thighs. Continue to work front. The intention is straighter legs. Then the second intention is a lengthening lumbar spine. Where is the point that you come to that you begin to round? Can you just be before that point? And be there and breathe. A long, steady breath. Beautiful. This is good. Your next exhale, push your hips to your right. Just like your hip led at the start of the practice, you keep the hips working a straight line across. Notice the reaction of the right outer hip around the buttock muscle. Breathe really well. Hands are still bracing on the thighs, they're taking weight. Inhale through the center. Exhale to your left. Beautiful. Inhale smoothly back to center. Now if you have any challenge in the back of the body, please just maintain as you are. Maybe that was just a mild bend in your knees, or maintain a mild bend in the knees. If all is well, playing around a little further, keeping the hip behind the heel slightly, and bend at the knee. Now we're bending at the knee to the point that you can maintain the knee over the ankle. The hands can be continued to brace on the thighs. If your knees are shifting towards your toes, can you raise back up? Shift the weight a little behind you, to where you can keep the knee over the ankle. And smoothly coming down from there. If it feels steady, palms to press. Further practice, slightly drop the chest down. But the whole time you're checking in with the knee in relation to the ankle. Feels good, drop the hip a little lower. Just 30 seconds. You've already started. But don't fight. Engage more to a base of pelvic, lower belly. Breath is steady and long. Your last breath. Don't force, just play. Beautiful. Release your hands, straighten the legs a little and then sway side to side. Coming to rest with your sway. Bend your knees as much as you need to get the tips of your fingers initially, or maybe your palms in front of your feet so you know that's shoulder distance. Then walk your feet straight back. Good distance between your hands and your feet, remembering the distance from the start of the practice. Working towards that, Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward facing dog. If this is challenging or uncomfortable, please ground the knees, the resting over here. There's a welcome posture also. A long and steady breath.
This feels good here. Keep the toes where they are. But bend the right knee slightly and stretch the left heel towards the ground, and the ball of the left foot is drawing the mat backward. Long steady breath. And then in the left knee, the right heel is stretching towards the ground and the ball of the right foot is dragging the mat towards back. Beautiful. And bending both knees. And welcome your knees to the mat if you're not already there. And the resting warrior, knees wide, big toe together, sitting back in a heel. First option of variation, extending the arms front. If necessary, stack palms or stack fists. Choose where is appropriate for you. Push away the mat lightly, forehead grounding. Or on resting on palms or resting on fists. Lifting the head lightly. Now you're welcome to remain centre. But if all is well, without elevating your hips up from the level that they're at now, walking your hands to your right to any degree. Without disturbing of the hip. If your hips have raised, you've gone a little too far. Coming back from there. Once you've relocated your arms to the right, perhaps you can ground your forehead or bring it towards the mat on the right side. And just notice the reaction on the left side of the body. Breathe. Lifting of the head. Walk, slide or glide your hands to your left now. Without raising of the hips, relocating your forehead on the left side. Notice the response. Inhale, lifting of the head. Bringing the arms back to centre. And maintain the head lifted. And whichever way is necessary for you, coming front onto your belly. Straighten the legs out behind. Coming front onto the belly. Bringing the feet together, toes and heels to touch. Hands over the sides of the body. And at a slight angle, bring the hands underneath the thighs. So thighs resting gently on the pants. Your chin is grounded. If that's challenging, please do with a forehead or a cheek. If comfortable, the chin. Base of pelvic and buttock muscle lightly engaged. The single leg raises in the locust pose. As you inhale, raising the right leg. Keeping the leg straight and thinking front of right hip is grounding or pushing against the hand. As you exhale, release. Inhale the left. Trying to avoid rolling to the right. Maintain center. Exhale, release. Inhale right. Exhale, release. Inhale left. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale release. Inhale left. Exhale release. Inhale right. Exhale release. Inhale left. Exhale release. Release your hands up from underneath the thighs and turn your right or your left cheek to the mat, whichever is most comfortable for you. Be there for a moment. Just notice the body's reaction. Please notice that there's no pressure in your neck if you're turning the head. You could always be with a forehead or remain with chin. Next, inhale back to center, grounding the chin or the forehead. Feels good, extending your arms out in front. Now, if you have any challenge in the upper back or around the neck or the shoulder region, keep the head and the arms grounded. If all is well, perhaps you play around with raising the arms, the legs, alternate arm and alternate leg even, and the head and the chest. Choosing which is appropriate. Keep the arms grounded if necessary and just work with the legs. Feels good. Working towards full variation. Lower body little active. Inhale, right leg, left arm, very comfortable, raise head and chest. Gaze slightly front, no pressure on neck. Next exhale, release. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Return chin or forehead back to ground. Hands over the sides of the body, palms face up, and turn the opposite cheek to the ground now, as you previously went a moment ago. Breathe steady, notice the reaction. Cross the lower back, reaction through the shoulder. Beautiful. Next, inhale back to center, chin or forehead. Tuck the hands underneath the thighs, so in slight angle, the thighs are resting gently in the palms. The intention is a full variation of the locust pose, and we'll just go through 2 rounds. If you have any challenge in the back of the body, perhaps you're working still with just a single leg raise at your rhythm, or perhaps raising just the chest. If all is well, the full variation, head, chest and legs, but never fighting for depth. The lower body engaged. As you inhale, raise the head, raise the chest, raise the shoulders, raise the legs even and roll the shoulder. Then maintain it there. Exhale, coming down. Just 2 rounds. Inhale, raising up. And then be here for a moment. Well, no fight. Shoulders are rolled, gaze is front. Any challenge in the neck, drop the chin a little. Mindful you're not trying to lift with the neck and dropping the back of the head towards the upper back. Maintain the length in the spine. Breathe. Exhale, coming down. Take care, go up. Once you've grounded, take the hands up from underneath the thighs. Take your feet to be as wide as your mat, not wider, and turn the feet out, so inner ankle and inner side of big toe grounding. Right hand, left shoulder, left hand, right shoulder. Allow the arms, the elbows to slide in front, and the chin or the forehead resting on the crossed over arms. If this is challenging, maybe your palms are stacking, and your forehead could be resting here. Feels good, Makarasana, the crocodile pose. Tuning into the rhythm of the breath as you inhale, engage lightly through the base of pelvic and the buttock muscle. As you exhale, release. And we'll continue for 5 rounds. Creating beautiful soothing action through the lower limbs, all of the nerves that exit out through the sacral region, supplying the lower legs, supplying the lower legs entirely. Breathe. Two more breaths. Super. You're welcome to remain as you are. All is well, bring the feet back together, toes pointed, hands either side of the chest. Now please take care to the lower back region as you push the hands into the mat, bending at the knees. If comfortable, keep the knees and the feet together, sitting on the heel if you can. Grounding at the elbow, heel palms to press, cradle the face around the chin. If that's challenging, allow the face to turn downward and cradle around the temple or the ear. If required, stack the fists or palms. Hips can be elevated if you need to. A few steady breaths. Super. Raising of the head. Extend the arms out in front. Then raise up in the hands and the knees. Just like to start your practice, the Vajraswasa, the tiger breathing setup. Shoulder over the wrist as best you can. Finger well spread. Knees are in line with your wrist, toes in line with your knees. All is well here. A few gentle rounds of tiger breathing. Inhale, arch lower, middle, upper, slightly lift the head. Exhale, round lower, middle, upper, release the head. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Beautiful. Next, inhale back to an easy spine. Knees and feet together. So please know you can rest at any moment, never fighting for depth. We'll just play a little with our practice. Extending the right leg back straight and tuck the toes. You can be here. If this feels steady, raise your right leg towards parallel. Recognize you're not hiking the right hip up. Keep the hips a little more level if you can. This feels good. Focus on a point in front of you. Raise your left fingertips. Extending your left arm front. Very comfortable. Your left arm raises up. Stretch front of the arm and back with the leg. Be here for a few steady breaths. Base of pelvic, lower belly are active. Keeping the body centered. No pressure on the right shoulder or the wrist. Exhale. Release the left hand if you've raised it. And ground the right knee. And pushing back for a moment. Keep the hands where they are if you can. Bum back towards the heel. Take a little rest, steady breath. Super. You feel good? Raise back up on the hands and the knees. Extend the left leg back now. Toes are tucked. This feels good. Raise the leg towards parallel. Now feel steady. Focus on the point in front of you as you raise into the right fingertips. Play around with walking towards the front of the mat. Further practice, extend the arm straight. Stretch front of the arm and back of the leg. Be here for a moment. Spread the left fingers entirely. Ground it back. Beautiful. Exhale. Grounding right palm. Grounding left knee. Knees as wide as your mat. Sitting tall or sitting back in the heels. Extending your arms front, or choose a variation of stacked palms or stacked fists, or resting warrior. Beautiful. Lifting of the head, the gaze is front. And making your way to a downward facing dog. Choose a variation that's appropriate for you. You can be as you are. Little practice, raise the hip. Feels good, feet as wide as your toe, or feet toes as wide as your shoulders. Then tuck the toes, raise the knee, push the hip up and back. The downward facing dog. Now the intention here is to play around with a one-legged downward facing dog. If that's going to present a challenge for you, please note that you can bend one knee and stretch the opposite heel towards the mat where you were a previous moment ago. If all is well, however, I encourage you to bring your feet together to centre the mat. And this is good, you bend your right knee even further and allow the left heel to work towards the mat. All is well, raise the right foot a little up off the mat. Feels good, work with a straighter leg now and extend the right leg up to the point that's comfortable for you, allowing the left heel to work towards the ground. Please don't fight for depth. Notice if there's any shortness on your breath. This is suggesting that perhaps you've gone a little too far, choosing a previous variation. Exhale, release the left. Changing sides, inhale the left. Small degree first. Can you share that even weight in the hands? Feels good, raise the leg to the comfortable degree. Be aware if your shoulders are shifting front to over your wrist. Shift the weight back as best you can. Share the weight now between the right foot and the hands. Breathe. Right heel towards the ground. Next exhale, release. Feet return to that shoulder distance apart. And bending the knees, gaze is front. You're welcome to come front whichever way is necessary for you. Little practice, right knee, right wrist, shin diagonally across the body. Left shin or ankle stacks on top. And sitting back. But don't fight. Come front in whichever way is required. Sitting nice and tall. Cross-legged variation just like the start of your practice if you're comfortable. But you can choose whichever position is best for you. Maintain the spine center. Right hand right side and behind. Left hand is over the thigh. If you feel relatively comfortable here, you can take the right hand and you can reach around and search for the left hip or even the top of the left thigh. As you inhale, sit tall. As you exhale, get nice and twisted. Twisting lightly to your right now. With no pressure on the neck. Inhale, coming halfway back, just like the start of your practice. Looking at your right knee, following the direction of the right knee. If it's comfortable and accessible, maintain the hands in the position they're in. If required, your hands could even be either side of your right knee, or one hand could be behind you, helping you come a little front. No fight. Outer edge of the left buttock muscle grounded. Inhale, raising up through the center. Exhale to your left now. Left hand left side behind, or reach for the hip or thigh. Right hand hooks over as you get a little twisted to your left. Recognize the length in your spine. Inhale length and exhale left. Inhale halfway back, looking at your left knee. Maintain the hands in the position they're in if that's comfortable. Follow the direction of the left knee. Readjusting the hands as required. Inhale, coming back through the center. All is well here. Allow your front leg to come a little further front away from the body. Allow your knees to go wider and bring the soles of the feet together. If you're anywhere near the back of your mat, please scooch towards the front edging of your mat. This feels good. You can allow your knees to raise up a little further. Middle finger, index and thumb, grabbing the big toes, palms are facing. Lift your spine. So being here is beautiful. If this is a challenge to grab the big toes, apologies I didn't mention, you can grab on the shin or you can grab it towards the feet. Choose which is appropriate for you. If it feels good and you're familiar, you can jump straight in. If you're unfamiliar, you can play around with raising one foot, be there for some time and alternating to the opposite foot to any degree. Further practice, both feet lift a quarter of a millimeter up off the mat, then begin to raise a little further, then they begin to depart each other, but don't fight. You can maintain a bend in the knee, focus on a point a little upward, and lengthen the spine. Breathe. Focus on your point. Just 2 more breaths. Beautiful. If your feet are still elevated as you exhale, if both of them are up, bring the feet together. If you can, keep them raised. Release the big toes, bring the knees together, chin towards the chest. If there's nothing solid behind you, as you inhale, just one rock back, just one light rock back. Once you've arrived, a little rolling side to side. Coming to rest with your rolling. Release the legs, ground the feet, extend your legs out towards the front edging of your mat. Hands over the sides of the body. If you have any challenge in the back of the body, please take the hands underneath the bums. So a slight angle coming in. Sternum is back, so the back of the ribs are grounding. Your chin is in a mild double chin. Feet together, heel pushing away. As you inhale, mindfully raise the right leg. If it's a challenge to raise the leg straight, bend the knee as you raise. Exhale, release. With alternate legs, just a few steady rounds. Inhale the left. Exhale, release. How softly can you land the heel? Inhale, right. Exhale, release. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right? Now be there for a moment. Knee can be bent as you need to. Mild arching through the lower back's okay. Be aware of excessive arching and particularly ribs lifting. Keep the sternum back. Don't fight for depth. Breathe. Beautiful. Next exhale. Bend the right knee generously towards the chest. Grab the right thigh with the left hand. Right arm out from shoulder height. Straight arm through the space. Finger to shoulder line or cactus arm if required. As you exhale further, draw the right leg over towards the left side of the body. Gaze to your right. Now the focus is going to the back of the right shoulder. If this elevates up, bring the right leg back towards center to where you can feel the shoulders grounding. Then get twisted from there. Inhale, center. Arms down by the sides of the body, right leg straight. Exhale, release the right. And inhale the left. Smoothly raise it up. Hands underneath the bum if you need to. Work for a straighter leg, working towards a 90-degree angle. If necessary, bend at the knee. Don't force, just play. Beautiful. Exhale, bend generously at the knee. Left arm out to the side. Right hand grabs the left thigh if you can. As you exhale, get a little twisted. You can adopt a cactus arm if necessary. Feels good. Work towards a straighter arm if you have the space. Back of left shoulder is grounding nicely now. Inhale, back to center. Keep a good bend of the left knee. Both arms on the sides of the body will bend the right knee also. All is well here. Bring the thighs nice and close to the body, and you can feel that the mild arch of the lower back is perhaps now connecting with the mat. Keeping the ribs down and the chin in a mild double chin. Hands down by the sides of the body. All is well. Allow your knees to move away from the body to where your knees are directly over your hip. Perhaps a mild arch has been created in the lower back now. Endeavour to maintain it at this edge, mindful if you're going beyond. Be here and bring. If this feels good now, take your knees and your feet to be hip distance apart. Still maintaining knee over hip alignment, but just creating distance between the knees and the feet. And if it feels steady here, without disturbing the alignment of knee to hip, raise the lower leg up. To where the ankle and the knee are working in a straight line. 90 degrees between the back of the thigh and the calf muscle. Heels push away. Breathe really well. Now this feels steady. Extend your right arm up. Very comfortable, extend your left arm up. Withdraw the shoulder back. Retract the shoulder back. And be here for a few steady breaths. Base of pelvic, lower belly are active. Sternum is back, sternum is comfortably grounded, and the chin in a mild double chin. Remembering that challenges are welcome, but don't fight for depth. Feel your body's response. Beautiful. Now without disturbing the arms, take the feet to be wider, so shoulder distance. As you exhale, ground the feet. Flip the palms to face towards the feet and release your hands down also. Then slide your heel in towards the fingertips, so feet are shoulder distance apart, heel towards the fingertip, knee over ankle as best you can. Chin to mild double chin. Pressurize your feet as you inhale, push the hip, lower back, middle back, upper back. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, push the hip. Exhale, release. Inhale, push the hip. Very comfortable. Be here for a few steady breaths. If you're maintaining, however, please check in through your knees, your lower back to your hip and your neck. There's no pressure or fight experience in these areas to maintain. If necessary, continue with the movement or take rest. Exhale, upper, middle, lower, back of hip. Once you're firmly grounded, feet together, toes and heels. Extend the arms out to either side, double arm stretch. Raise the right leg up if that's accessible for you. Right thigh rests on top of left. As you exhale, knees to your right now. Comfortable for the neck, gaze to the left. Focus on the back of the left shoulder. Any challenge in the neck, keep the gaze straight up. Breathe long and steady. Inhale, center. Exhale, release the right. Raise the left leg up now. Thigh and thigh as best you can. Next exhale, knees towards the left. Gaze to your right if that's comfortable for your neck. Inhale back to center. Exhale, unravel the legs. Draw the thighs in towards the chest. Grab the leg. Head towards the knees. Round the spine. Nice tight. Pull tight as you can. Inhale. Release the head. Release the legs. Release and rest. The end of your practice. Readjusting your position for Shavasana. The end of your practice. Know that you can be in many variations, so you can choose which is appropriate for you. Knees bent, legs straight, hands out to the side or on the belly. You could be on your side, you could be on your front. Take a few moments. Eyes closed, mouth closed. And when you can feel that the body is beginning to arrive, there's a real steadiness to be experienced. Allow the steadiness, allow stillness to hold your entire body. And within this holding, you can release all the weight of the body. Any unnecessary tension harbored within the physical body. And any worry of the mind. Any thoughts or stories or narratives that are occupying your mind that aren't serving you, they can be all released into the earth. All being accepted, never being too much. Safe in the knowledge that the body is held, the body is secure. Set your attention free to move upon the breath. And on the inhale, perhaps the breath is moving up the back of the body. And on the exhale, it descends down the front. Inhaling up the back and exhaling down the front. And each time your breath passes the threshold of the toes, body settles deeper. Let's go further. And perhaps on your next inhale, the breath changes direction, moving up the front of the body with the incoming breath, and descending down the back of the body with the outgoing breath. And when you begin to experience your next exhale, just as the breath is about to begin to descend the back of the body, allow your awareness to continue to move with the breath. And each point is visited by your awareness, and notice sensation. What's the response of body to your practice? At the crown of the head, the back of the head, stretching along the back of the shoulders into shoulder blades. Allow your awareness to move with your exhale down through each and every vertebrae of the spine, through the upper back, middle back, lower back, all the way down into the triangular shape that is the sacrum, the very base of the spine. Allow your awareness to stretch out through the entire region of the lower back, to the outer edges of the hips. What's the response? Any sensation? Through the buttock muscles, the thighs, backs of the knees, calf muscles, heels, soles of the feet. Become aware of the whole back of the body. Allow your awareness to turn with the breath and to move it in a nail up through the front of the body, inquiring along the way. Body's response to practice. At the toes, tops of feet, shin bones, kneecaps, through the fronts of thighs, and through the whole front region of the pelvic area. Through the belly, any reaction or response to your practice at the belly, the release of unnecessary holding. Through the ribs, the chest, to the collarbones and fronts of the shoulders. Allow your awareness to move with your inhale through the tips of the fingers, palms of the hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, biceps, tops of shoulders. Allow your awareness to come to the center line of the body and to move with the breath up through the neck, any response through the neck, through deep facial muscles of jaw, chin, tongue, nose, cheekbones, ears, eyes, forehead, the crown of the head, the front of the body, the back of the body, the front of the body. As you become aware of your whole body, your whole body, your whole body. With this whole body awareness, you're welcome how rested the body is. Whole of the body is rested. Whole of the body is still. Whole of the body is rested. Whole of the body is still. As you reside within this rest for a moment. As you allow the body to remain within the position of deep rest, we'll softly extend your awareness to be greater than the body. And as it extends beyond, allow it to begin to transition to a more everyday, a more engaged awareness. This awareness begins to influence your breath into being a little fuller, a little more conscious. Feel how the breath moves through the body, starting stillness. It starts the stillness to the toes, fingers, and up into the head and the neck. Feet come a little bit back together, edge back together. Extend your arms up overhead and behind. Begin at your feet, point your toes and your feet and your legs. Take a big inhale, belly, shoulder, fingers, tongue, like no body. Exhale, release. Right arm remains extended. Left to the belly, folding the left knee, and gently roll to your right. Come out to your side for a moment. And once you feel steady, pushing up into any seated variation, eyes closed. And as you come to the end of your practice, take a moment to note any difference to the start of your practice. Softly drawing your palms together, rubbing your palms. Placing your hands lightly over the eyes, gently cup. An extending massage of your eyes, the nose, the cheekbone, the temple. Taking the hands a small distance away from the eyes. Gently blink the eyes open, gaze into palms. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I hope you had a good practice. Hope you have a good day. The rest of your day goes well. Look forward to seeing you at your next practice. Thank you.